Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of It Stinks right here on the Boom Broadcasting. Coming off a big WrestleMania weekend right here on Boom. We want to thank you for tuning in to It Stinks and all of the other great content we had on Boom Broadcast this week and last week. We had Three from Deep. We had so much more. We had pre-shows for WrestleMania. We got an NFL Draft live reaction show coming up on Thursday night that you definitely want to be tuning in for that. That's going to be something special right there. Seeing the plans of how they're planning everything, you definitely don't want to miss that one. That's one that I myself will have on as I get to see who my Eagles take and see what my pick aligns up to my Boom Brothers pick right here on Boom Broadcasting. So definitely tune in that. But this episode, It Stinks, we're going to be talking about, once again, TV shows that are still on the bubble. As we get deep into April, a lot of shows have not been renewed yet and still sitting on that pendulum as it swings side to side. Want to know, would they get cut or will they make it to another season? We don't know. It's only It Stinks will be the show that can tell you what we think if they will get cut or make it to another season. You're watching It Stinks on the Boom Broadcasting.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
It stinks.
No need to keep waiting. Let's take a look and see what shows the pendulum is still swinging to see if they're going to get the cut or will we think they survive. First show I want to look at, let's go right to Fox. This is a pretty decent show. Alert, Missing People. It stars Scott Kane. A lot of people know Scott Kane as Detective Danny, who played on Hawaii Five-O. This show was created by Jamie Foxx. It's currently in season 2. The show is based out of the DC metro area. Sometimes they go to Philadelphia and work out of that station, but it's kind of based around that DC hub or that Philadelphia hub, where it is a special unit in the PD and in the federal agency that works along with the PD to find missing people when they go missing. Now, the good taste for this show is it's got a good cast. Scott Kane, great all-star cast on it. And it's a show that you can always write a plot for. Somebody goes missing, team finds them. Team doesn't find them in this episode, you can wait to the next episode to find the person. So it has a good plot set up for the show to continue. So I think this show will not get the cut and move on to a season 3 on Fox. It's one of the highest rated shows on Fox behind the next show that we're about to talk about, The Cleaning Lady. This show since season 1 has been on an emotional roller coaster. It is in season 4 now. It has an all-star cast. You got Adam, Cancellations, you got Eldon Young, a great cast of people on this show. And it's a show that has been something from the first episode to where they're at now, that every episode it just gets bigger and bigger. I do not see the Cleaning Lady getting cut right now, not unless you kill off one of the main cast. Then you got ways of saying, okay, let's start tying it up and go ahead and wrap it up and call this show a season and be done with it. I see the Cleaning Lady not getting the cut, but staying on Fox and getting another season. Now jumping over to ABC, Dr. Odyssey. Joshua Jackson plays Dr. Max Binkerman. This was supposed to be this generation's Love Boat. They did a lot of promotion for this show, wanting people to attract to it. Why do we like the Love Boat? It had a great cast. Everybody loved the theme song. Everything just went right on the Love Boat. Cast your fears away. Cast your cares away. You're on the Love Boat, on the Sea of Love. That's why we like the Love Boat, because it was just a great show to watch back in that generation when it came out. But Dr. Odyssey took the principles of the Love Boat and added on a doctor working on the boat. And it's just not been what we want to expect. It's been a love triangle between the boat's cast, And it's just not have gravitated to people and fans to watch it. I myself have watched Dr. Odyssey and really tried to get into it, but a lot of times during those episodes, I find myself saying, hey, can I just read about this one? Where's this one going? It's not making sense. This is one that I could see maybe not getting a season 2. They're already in a tough spot. That Thursday at 9 p.m. is when it comes on. I think if you want to save this show, move it to a different night. But I think that Thursday at 9, that's a hot commodity right there because it's leading everybody up to that Friday morning when we go to work and you want to have something to talk about, and this is not the show. Versus on Wednesday night, you definitely don't want to put it on Wednesday night. You got to compete against Chicago. Everybody on Thursday morning at work is waiting to talk about Chicago Med, Fire, and PD. Same thing on Tuesday night with FBI. Everybody on Wednesday morning is waiting to talk about FBI. This is in a tough spot. I don't see this one making it. I think this one will get the cut. Next show, The Equalizer. We have talked about this one on It Stinks. Queen Latifah, all-star cast. This is a great show. Comes on Sunday, perfect night. Everything's good with the show. Has a great cast, a great basis that is based on. The thing that is based on is off the Equalizer movie. It's only one thing missing. When will Denzel Washington come be the Equalizer and help Queen Latifah on a mission? That's all we're waiting on now. We do know Denzel has formally said he is retired from acting, but he just did a movie, The Gladiator 2. So could they get Denzel to come do a one-off on the Equalizer? That is possible. This I do not see getting cut. I think The Equalizer stays on CBS. It is one of the most viewed shows on the channel. I definitely see that will continue moving on. Now, our next one is one that a lot of people have talked about. It's one I talk about on this show. It's Found. I like Found on NBC. You got Shonella Hampton as playing Gabby Mosley. You got my guy, Brenton Dalton, who played Lieutenant Pelican on Chicago Fire. You got the all-star, one of the greatest actors in TV sitcoms, Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played on Saved by the Bell and Mixage in this show. And it's about Gabby's rogue, lost and found service that upstages the DC Metropolitan Police Department by finding lost people for them. This is a good show. And the episodes that are not good are the episodes that Sir, who's played by Mark Paul, are not on. But the episodes that Mark Paul is in makes this show more complex to want to make you keep watching. It makes you gravitate that he really is this mastermind teacher who abducted his student for companionship. Just to teach her even more because she was such a studious student. And now Gabby's battling those demons of being the kidnappee to now the kidnapper, to get out of the situation of where they said she wasn't going to jail for kidnapping her kidnapper to help her solve these cases. I don't see this show getting the cut. I see this show continuing on. They have a strong basis to continue on as long as they continue letting Mark Paul be in these episodes and keep him intertwined in that role with him and Gabby as the protagonist and antagonist. You have a great show that can continue watching on NBC. And while we're talking about NBC, let's talk about a show that was on Peacock that a lot of people miss because it's on Peacock. And now it is playing on NBC, The Hunting Party. It stars Melissa Roxburgh, who played in Manifest, the call-in show. Everybody like Manifest on NBC. It stars my guy Josh McKenzie, who played in La Brea on NBC. Both of those shows did not get renewal seasons, so they pulled cast to make this show. And this is one of those shows that NBC put on Peacock to see how it would do. And if it did good, the show continue on. If not, we'll pull the show off. And what did we get? It struck lightning in the bottle. This is a great show that every week has gotten better. All these prisoners that got death row sentences that were killed were not killed by the government. They were sent to this place called the Pit. Somebody bombed the Pit, and majority of these prisoners, if they did not die from the bombing, got out and escaped back into society. So now you have this team having to go find these prisoners and return them back to this undisclosed area of government property that is like the Pit 2. Great show, big following, big numbers on Peacock. one of the highest watched sitcoms on the Peacock streaming services. This is definitely going to get a renewal for season 2. The rumors are already out that they're already working on season 2 without signing the renewal, but this is definitely getting renewed. So we will be seeing The Hunting Party come back. If you have not watched The Hunting Party, I encourage you to go to Peacock and watch every episode. It gets better and better after every episode. Now, jumping back over to NBC, The Irrational, Jesse L. Martin. The national treasure when it comes to acting. Jesse L. Martin played in Law and Order. Such a great actor. He just does so good. Takes his roles and just really brings the best out of the role he's playing. But this show may get the cut. It may get the cut because it's losing the basis of what the show was about. Season 1, the show was about Jesse trying to remember the memories that night before he went into intensive care of who bombed the church that he was attending a local meeting at. And I don't know if it was an AA meeting or if it was because he was a psychologist. So I think he was teaching an AA meeting, working with a group, and the church got bombed. He got severely injured in that bombing, was in a coma, woke up in ICU, doing better, getting his memory back as he go. But the show has kind of straddled away from that. And he was also working with his ex-wife, who's the chief of police in that area, helping solve cases to help get in the mindset of how criminals think when they do these crimes, helping them solve cases and being that person saying, let me go and be a psychologist person that can talk to the criminal and think of how they're thinking or what makes their mind do that. Very good show when it started season 1. Season 2 has kind of drawn away from that, and a lot of people now are starting to push away from this show. It's one of the ones I think is going to get cut. I don't think The Irrational will be making a season 3. You heard it first right here on the Boom Broadcasting. That one may get cut. Hate to see it get cut. The only reason it survives if they get a new writing staff in and get the show back to the original basis of what it was. Our next one, I don't know why either one of these shows are even on this list, but they have not been renewed as of Thursday when It Stinks dropped. Neither one of these shows have been renewed, but we know they're going to get renewed. Law and Order and Law and Order SUV. Another great show by Dick Wolf. This is the 3rd rated show on NBC with streaming ratings and with TV view ratings behind Chicago, Law and Order SUV, and then Law and Order. They're the top 3 shows. So this will definitely be renewed. All-star cast. Great show. Only thing I would say about Law and Order SUV, it does good on NBC. It's the 2nd highest watched show behind all the Chicago franchise. Maybe let's move that one to Peacock. Get it a little bit more edgy, and let's see what it can do. Because like in Hunting Party on Peacock, it's a little bit more edgy, not a rough edgy, but a little bit more of inside the mind of the cop as they're chasing these criminals. That could help out SUV. Don't see neither one of them getting cut. They will definitely be getting renewed. Law and Order is not going nowhere till Dick Wolf's ready to pull the plug on it. Just like with Chicago, they're not going nowhere till Dick Wolf's ready to pull the plug on it. Now, our next one is one that's kind of got me up in arms. CBS, Papa's House. I just don't get it. Damian Wayne's a good actor, but I just don't get this one. All-star cast, Essence Atkinson, Wendy Raquel Robertson, Jeffrey Owens. All these people on this cast have played in great shows, whether it was The Cosby Show, Smart Guy, Are We There Yet, Marlon, Steve Harvey Show. The list goes on and on and on. But between Damian Williams and his son, Damian Williams Jr., I just don't get this show, and I've tried to get into it. I really feel like this is a show on CBS that could survive the cuts if they bring in a better writing staff for this show. But I just don't see this show making it. I think it's definitely going to get cut. Now, our next one we're looking at, let's go back to Fox as we get ready to wrap up this list. Hawaii Rescue. It's nothing like a Hawaii show. Everybody loves Hawaii shows. Hawaii Five-0 was such a great success on CBS. But Hawaii Rescue on Fox has not been that. And why do we like Hawaii shows? You get to see the culture of Hawaii, the surfing, the food trucks, the Hawaii exotic food that everybody craves when they touch down on the island. Everything that goes with Hawaii is put in these type of shows to really make you feel that it's in Hawaii, even though it's filmed maybe in Stone Mountain, Georgia somewhere. And they want to make you feel like it's in Hawaii. This show just has not gravitated with the fan base on Fox. There's no major stars on the except Ian Anthony Dale, who played on Hawaii 5-0. So the show just has not been able to garner and grab people a hold up and say, we want to watch this show. This is one on Fox between The Cleaning Lady and Alert Missing People. This is the one that's probably going to get the cut. Alert Missing People will survive. The Cleaning Lady will survive, but I want to say this one will get the cut. Now, our last show we're going to talk about. One of my all-time favorites, Wild Cards on CW. Now, a lot of people will say a CW show does not have that much to compete against. It's really competing against itself. Well, this show has not only had to compete against all the daytime judge shows that come on CW, it has to compete against basketball and NASCAR. And Wild Cards right now in season 2 is getting 800,000 views every night it comes on a Tuesday night when you compete against FBI. Hard numbers to compete against, but they're getting 800,000 views, whether it's live views or DVR views. But Wild Card stars Vanessa Morgan and Giancho Gardatini, two great actors. Vanessa Morgan played in Riverdale, two great actors in Wild Cards. It has been a hit show. It is a quirky cop show where you have a professional con artist working with a detective to solve crimes. And it's been a hit. It's been a hit. It is coming in second place on CW behind NASCAR racing. So it's beating out all the judge shows and it's beating out NCAA basketball when that was on CW. Wild Cards is not going nowhere. It will definitely be getting a season 3 on CW. And it's one of those shows that can hang around because Vanessa Morgan is such a great actress. She just knows how to play every role you throw at her. She can just hit a home run with and play that character to make it so believable. I definitely see Wild Cards getting a season 3 on CW and maybe taking a shot at NASCAR, getting that ranked weekly watch show over NASCAR one week as the future unfolds. This is Shawn from It Stinks. That's all my information on all the shows as of today that have not been renewed. We will be back next week on It Stinks talking more TV, more movies, and everything in the world of entertainment right here on Boom Broadcasting. Till then, we'll see you next week on It Stinks, and I'm out.